everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Midnight Hustlers. I'm so excited to have you on this journey with me. But before beginning, I'd like to say a few things, which you can feel free to skip by referring to the timestamps in the description box. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to apologize for the terrible audio quality. May God bless your ears if you're wearing headphones. And secondly, I know that some of you might have your doubts with me or my content, but I can assure you that whatever material I put out has been well thought out and thoroughly researched, and I absolutely love learning about new things and telling people about it. So I put my heart and soul into this. So yes, you can be assured that this is legit or legitimate, and I'm putting air quotes around legitimate as I say this. Okay, so without wasting any further time, let's jump right into today's topic, which is a discussion about personal statements which are required to be submitted when you're applying to the United Kingdom for an undergraduate course or also master's course, but in this we'll primarily be talking about undergraduate courses. Before beginning, I'd like to give you a brief description of what the personal statement actually is in case you do not know about it. So basically, the personal statement needs to be submitted as a part of your application to any universities you're applying to in the United Kingdom through the UCAS portal. Now, UCAS will only allow you to submit an application to maximum of 5 universities, and each of these universities will get the same personal statement to assess you on. This personal statement should tell the admission officers why you're interested in the course you're applying for and how is it personal to you, as in what all have you done in your life or in your school life to showcase that you're interested in this course. The last paragraph should also state why you want to study in the United Kingdom, but please do not mention the name of any particular university because, like I said before, the same personal statement goes to all 5 UK universities. Now we'll talk more about the structure and content of the personal statement at the end of this video when I give a detailed analysis of what the personal statement should contain and why I think my personal statement worked. But before that, I'm going to read my personal statement to you so that you get an idea of how it should flow and what it should sound like. Okay, so my personal statement was written for the BSc Econ program, which is the Bachelor's of Science in Economics program, and it got me admitted to University College London, also known as UCL, King's College London, also known as KCL, the University of Manchester, and the University of Warwick. But even if you're thinking of applying to some other course, this podcast is still relevant for you because the flow and the format and the type of content remains the same throughout. So now I'll just start by reading my personal statement straight away. One of my most enduring memories relate to traveling by the railways with my family. Chugging through dense forests and shooting past busy cities as well as remote hamlets twinkling in the dark gave me perspective from a safe distance, but also brought all these mysterious entities closer. The different people I interacted with piqued my curiosity about those outside my familiar world. But most of all, the stark economic differences between the shining cities and the shanty towns on the outskirts that perhaps tended to them sensitized me to the economic disparities that abound around me. The persistent question of how people living minutes away, let alone residing in the same country, could be living in such extreme situations was the source of my interest in economics. Economics is the bedrock to understand some of the major socio-cultural problems that beset any society. In a country as diverse as India, the complexities are bound to enrich the study of economics to allow critical analysis. I realized the scope and reach of economics through my study of the subject at school. To understand the dynamics of the study of disparities, I read through Amartya Sen's captivating work, The Country of First Boys, which made interesting revelations about how disparities are not only found among diverse communities but also in a school classroom, with priority of learning given to the male student. Mr. Sen's minute observations inspired me to delve deeper and beyond what I knew. Unemployment is a pressing problem in India and responsible to a large extent for economic disparity. As part of the social project DASH, I closely worked with unemployed youth with the aim of getting to the root of income inequality. The interviews led to the realization that discrimination on the grounds of caste and an embedded belief system plaguing India with stereotypes like the poor should remain poor have kept the rural population from rising. Following my findings, I also collaborated with UNICEF under the project DASH to research alternate employment opportunities for those of the rural population. My experiences in the field gave impetus to my interest in the area of economics. Therefore, in addition to participating in math competitions, I also began taking part in state level economics competitions like DASH, where I was required to frame economic policies to stabilize the depreciating Turkish lira. My term as the head of communications of Dash and Dash, two momentous events hosted by my school, polished the communication and leadership skills I require to efficiently conduct and present my research as an economist by teaching me effective tools of presentation. Furthermore, an internship at Dash gave me an insight into the working of the credit economy through workshops, followed by a project in which I researched how India's economy could be boosted if cash was substituted with online transactions. That exposure brought home my deep interest in the field and cemented my determination to pursue a career in economics. The UK is one of the leading global financial centers of the world, and studying economics close to where many significant economic theories base their origin is advantageous for any student of economics. Interacting with an international community of students would widen my perspective, leading to exposure to fresh ideas and improving my ability to adapt and invent. I am excited about the potential to scale up my learning experience and believe that my critical thinking skills, ability to persevere, and a desire to work for the greater good of both my and other communities would enrich my time at university. So that was the end of my personal statement. And I know I used dash instead of naming certain extracurricular activities because I wanted to protect some sensitive and personal information. Otherwise, that really doesn't make a difference. So, continuing with why I think this personal statement worked and if there are some things I wish I could have done better. So, the very first paragraph talks about certain instances that took place in my life that further contributed to my interest in economics. And I included this part because I wanted to personalize my essay because I know for a fact that not anybody else who is applying would have the same experiences as I've had. And not only this, but this certain instant did have a lot of impact in me turning to economics as my favorite subject or something that I wanted to pursue further. So I would suggest that you too include something personal or start your personal statement with something that has only happened to you or something which is only unique to you and which further contributed to you taking this subject as a course in college. Moving on, then I talked about certain things that I did in school, certain books that I read. I'd say in the second paragraph, talk about efforts that you've taken to further enhance your knowledge and interest in your chosen course. Like I talked about reading books by Amartya Sen to deepen my knowledge in economics. Similarly, you can talk about things that you've done at your end that have further spiked your interest in your chosen subject. Or basically, you want to show admission officers that yes, you really are interested in the subject and you're not only studying it because it was taught to you in school and it was forced upon you, but you yourself have taken the efforts of learning more about it. In the third paragraph, talk about your extracurricular activities, basically activities that you've done outside school. Here in UK, I've heard this term called super curricular activities, and by that, they basically mean that your extracurricular activities should be related to the course that you're applying for. Basically, they don't want to see a list of extracurriculars on your personal statement. In fact, do not do that. List only a few extracurricular activities that you know for sure have impacted your knowledge and interest in the chosen course. And also, just do not simply state them, explain how these extracurricular activities have impacted your interest or your knowledge. So, like I talked about an internship and how the research that I did in that internship helped me learn more about the credit economy, or how being the head of communications of two events polished my communication skills, which is a very important skill that economists require. So I would suggest that do mention these skills along with mentioning your extracurricular activities. So first mention the extracurricular activity and then mention how it has helped you. Just do not simply state them. In this application season and in this application process, you will hear the phrase show and do not tell a lot. Basically, what we want you to do, or what the admission officers want you to do, is just don't simply tell them what all you've done, but showcase it through your words, showcase it through experiences that you've had at those extracurricular activities. Only then will it be meaningful to include those activities in your personal statement. The last paragraph is extremely important to understand because you'll have to squeeze in a lot of information there. There you have to talk about two things. First, why the United Kingdom? Why you want to study there? Because there are institutions around the world. So admission officers would like to know that what exactly is there in the United Kingdom that has attracted you to study there. Secondly, this is your concluding paragraph. So here you also have to state, you have to compress everything that you've talked about in the entire personal statement in just one or two lines. So my suggestion would be to talk about a few skills that you want the admission officers to look at, a few skills that you want to highlight basically, that you want the admission officers to retain from your personal statement. Like I talked about my critical thinking ability and my ability to persevere. Basically, two, three skills like that would be enough because these are the traits that you want to highlight and want the admission officers to know about. And once you've done all this, you would have crafted a perfect personal statement. So, guys, that was it for today's episode. If you have any questions or any suggestions or would just like to talk to me about your personal statement, then you can contact me at my email address, which I'll be leaving in the description box below. Or you could also talk through the comment section. That is not a problem if you're watching this on YouTube. I hope you found this episode informative. And if you liked this, then please give it a thumbs up if you're watching this on YouTube. Or just click the follow button if you're listening to this podcast on an audio streaming platform. I'll see you next week. Thank you.